Phil, Phil,
Nick.
Phil, 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 Phil,
Wait,
Phil,
wait.
Phil, Phil.
Charming Nick.
That's right.
I heard. I couldn't watch it last night. I couldn't get into it.
What do you mean you couldn't get in? But you watched it today?
I just started watching it when you interrupted me with this podcast.
Sorry, I went against your schedule of your leisurely day.
I was
You had to,
watching it today. The
you had to
charming Nick. Charming.
stop on your way to get probably Chick-fil-A or a burrito, and then
No, I got a haircut today. I was busy this morning.
you had a haircut for lunch.
I did.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not thrilling. Nice.
That's really nice. Charming Nick.
Yeah.
So that was you were on here for the whole hour and a half?
There for about hour 10, yeah, something like that.
Oh, wow. That's amazing that you could entertain somebody that long.
That is amazing.
It is.
I mean, I entertain you once a week. Actually, more than that.
It's more than that. That's right.
Yeah, you call me for entertainment when your day's boring.
I do.
So
I'm starting to really fall in love with that evil eye with my letter E drilling.
The scarlet letter?
No, not E, F. Let it F.
Yeah? You always were a flunky.
But I hit it I got it up to 5,000. 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000.
That what you did? What did you do? Yeah. Spend all day behind a ball spinner?
I just stood there and worked it up from 1,500. And it paid off.
Time.
Ball was good. How long can it take? 15 minutes?
Yeah, that's a long time.
No, it's not. Not for a lifetime of strikes.
Well, it's all relative. Like 15 minutes behind a spinner or 15 minutes on the phone.
That's true. You know.
It's like, oh, God.
Anyway, it opens up the lane for me. It really gives me a good look.
It's nice.
So,
I shot my high series last week with Columbia.
690, right? You had
733.
733. Well, with the ricochet. Wow.
Yeah, the return. Yeah,
that's good.
I got on there the first shot in practice. In my normal spot, and the ball hooked like 3 feet past the arrows and went runaway Brooklyn.
Big dot, second arrow.
I was like, oh my God, they are so dry. What happened?
You made a big jump, didn't you?
I can only move so far on the right lane.
That's true, because you get the ball return right there.
I felt like one of those slingshots, those AAA or whatever they called, those old school AAA. Is it true?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You got to use English.
It's not an English word.
Well, there you go.
I think it was a French design thing. Trebuchet. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I got it.
What is
trebuchet.
That?
It's a slingshot. It's a big catapult.
And
that was how my bowling was. It felt like, because I had to put my foot down.
Oh, I see. And then it just
launch it out there. Yeah.
And your knee doesn't bother you, huh?
No, not at all.
Not yet. Let's use it yet. Let's use yet.
My left foot gets to the line softer. It lands softer than a butterfly with sore feet.
The charming Nick.
I am pretty charming. I'm feeling it. She actually messaged me today to thank me for being on and said that she did think I was charming. So she had to follow it up. And I was like, I'm not charming. I've been called a lot of things in this bowling world.
Yeah, not charming.
Charming. Like my mom won't even call me charming.
That's right.
Handsome, maybe. Charming.
Right. Not charming.
No.
So
I got the
today we got we have a guest today.
We do.
Brian Buckosh.
Yeah, we do.
He's a core designer for the brands of Brunswick.
Yeah. That seems like our only guests we have anymore are just core people.
Well, you're right. You know why? I mean, when I ask you to find people, no one wants to come on when you call them.
Is that how it goes?
To find Dasha. Now she moved.
Yeah, I asked her, and then she put 1,000 miles between us.
Think with that then. Can you be on our show? I'll get back to you. And then she moved.
Yeah, then you just hear the door shut, her car start up, and then screeching tires.
It's already packed. Exactly. Other shows have guests. How come we never have guests? We only have Steve.
Because we are the show. It's perception versus reality. So that's it. So no, every time we've tried to have guests, it's always been
I know
kind of tough, right?
Yeah, exactly. Bobby from the stadium is still the best one. That set the standard for guests.
set the tone early. That said, hey, maybe you shouldn't do guests.
Where's Waldo?
Well, especially, if you have the whole show based on what they're going to say and your interaction with them.
Yeah.
And if their connection fails, then you have to like scramble to fill the time.
Right.
Or like when your internet was bad, when you weren't paying your bill, like I had to sit there.
Exactly.
I had to sit there and try to carry the whole show like I normally do every week now.
But since then, I've become an expert at this.
Of what? Clicking the little auto pay symbol on your bill.
Exactly. And then trying to figure out when we have remote. I did all right the last time from the hotel. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And I got a new computer yesterday, and they shipped it to me from Brunswick because mine's out of warranty.
Yeah.
And the guy, Steve from the IT department, was helping me set it up. And he wanted to leave before it was fully downloaded. I said, not on your life, pal.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Phil told me he's not using his new computer today because he actually wanted to be on the show today.
Exactly. So the new computer is sitting right here. And when I'm done with the show, I'll hook it up on the docking station and all of the stuff I have.
It's going to happen, right? It's going to work. It's going to work perfectly. It's going to be like the most headache-free machine you've ever had.
I had the fear of, if I put this up at 1:00 or even at 12:30, I put it up an hour to go, everything will be fine until we click the show, and then something will go like,
haywire.
And then I got to dig the other computer out and try to make that work.
Let's do some housekeeping. What do you say?
Good. Yeah, we're going to put the Woo box up. You know how that works. You put your name in the Woo box, and then in about an hour, the Woo box will close.
At 4:00.
4:00. And then Nick will pick a name, hopefully one he can announce. We'll spin the wheel because you're a contestant. You're not a winner. You're a contestant. 8 people have left our spin as losers. So
but
they come in with high hopes.
Yeah. They've been branded by the Wheel of Shame.
The Miguel Wheel of Shame.
I should. Know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go find a bell.
Yeah.
Like a bell of shame. Like in the Game of Thrones when somebody gets the whammy. I'm just gonna start. Whatever. It's they're walking the nuns or whatever are walking behind the people.
Never seen it.
I'm just telling you what happens, and they're banging the bell and just yelling shame, shame. Shame.
Is it a religious show?
No.
Why you have nuns?
Because churches exist in this show.
Oh, okay. And shame. They yell shame when it rings. So we could ring the bell when somebody's name gets picked. We got to do it.
No, not when they get picked. When they get a whammy.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
The bell of shame. I'm gonna go get a bell.
So, and then we'll spin the wheel. So today we're gonna spin a little practice wheel. I'm gonna take because it rhymes with chamois, with whammy. Chamois.
All right. I want to take I'm going to go outside the box. I'm going to go new shoes.
Beautiful. I like how we did that. Shoe box. New shoes on the box. Chamois. 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 There it is. Here comes a sham. Oh no.
It's warmed up.
I feel it now.
It's warmed up now. Does lightning strike twice in a single show? We're gonna find out after 4:00.
It could. If you move it back one notch and do the same exact spin, it should come out again.
Maybe.
All right. We'll find out.
Got some news, don't we?
We do. We have a little bit of news, not a lot.
It's the striking news. Bowling news and views from around the world with your hosts, Brunswick and Phil Cardinelli. It's the striking news.
This is legitimately striking news.
It's striking news. 71. And that's the news.
In other news,
71 out of 72 strikes were thrown by these two gentlemen, Andrew Granite and Daniel Goldstone. 71 out of 72 strikes. Andrew, as you know, shot 900 with the Ebonite Real Time Country Club Lanes, Sacramento.
Yep.
And second best for the day. Daniel Goldstone.
I think I was on the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, 298, 300, 300 at Green Island Lanes near Albany. Oh, that's Albany for those of you that don't know. Albania. So that's pretty impressive.
That was with the Hammer Effect Tour.
Hammer Effect Tour. That's right.
And there was a regional win this week. Eric Jones won his 10th regional in the Southwest. And I saw that I think the entire top 5 were all Brunswick branded staffers.
Wow. And then the big tournament's going out in Vegas now, right? Isn't it the Ron Moore tournament or something?
The senior
something or other.
Senior shootout. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't paid it. It's not posted like normal. I can't find it everywhere. You got to look on Facebook. Once I have to look somewhere, I don't look.
Mm-hmm.
Just too much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But today we have Brian Buckosh on the show, and then we have talk about all the new balls. Because I don't have much more. There's no more news. Nothing happened in the world.
It's been boring news. There's been no new rules, so we have nothing to talk
No
about.
new rules. We hadn't heard back from the PBA on product registration yet, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. They're probably going to up the fee because they're going to CW. So I tried to calculate. I was talking to some guys yesterday at the lanes, some people. How far down on the TV totem pole is CW? And I'm serious. What level is that? Okay, so you got network TV. Then you got like the ESPN, right?
Isn't it technically network TV?
Well, I'm asking. But I'm talking about like ABC, NBC, CBS, right? Like that, right? Then you have ESPN, right? And that's where you have to have some type of cable program for that, right? And then you have where does CW fit in on down the ladder?
I would think it fits in like Madagascar does to Africa.
Yeah, maybe, right? No, because if you think about it, you got the major stations, then you got ESPN, then under that you probably have CBS Sports, right? You know, Fox Sports 1, CBS Sports under that. So this is below CBS. It's like 5th down, right? I would think.
It's going to be interesting when the tour season starts up. We'll see what it looks like. I have an open mind.
No, me too, but I just want to find out how something that far down the totem pole asks for more money for product registration.
I don't think it's them asking. I think it's the PBA asking, right?
Right. And their media stream is 5th down the list of streams. So
Speaking of streams, I think I'm gonna have to buy a new webcam because mine keeps glitching. It's been glitching for a week now.
Yeah, when mine does it, it's me. But when yours does it, it's the machine.
Yeah,
that's like I didn't ball good last night. This ball really sucked.
I would never say that. No, it's just my feed, like it the lower third like shoots up with like a different color or red once in a while. Just kind of glitches. I don't know. Not sure why it's doing that, but it does it. It does it. So
all right. Well, how many balls do we have to talk about today?
5.
And they are.
Should we bring in Brian first?
Yeah, let's bring Brian in. I'm teasing you.
Brian
There you
Buckosh.
Hey guys, how are you?
Show
joining Phil and the charming Nick Smith.
Charming, here to charm everybody. Welcome for everybody in the chat that doesn't know who Brian is. Brian is Brunswick R&D core designer, and he works on multiple brands, and he's worked on 2 of the cores on this show today. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah. Okay.
So we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of everything this week, and we're going to talk about new bowling balls. Sound good, everybody? Sounds good? Great.
I think so. I'm looking through comments while this is going on, so I get to my head start.
I just put the woo box in again just in case.
Yeah, make sure you put your name in there. You know what to do.
We're going to start talking about some bowling balls, and we're going to start with hammer. Why hammer? Just because. I think it's we're going for the most hook, and then we'll work our way back. How about that? So Zero Mercy solid. Let's talk about that core first. You got some cool examples there?
Yeah, if you guys know me from the Radical Rundown, you know I'm always bringing some show and tell. So what I have first for you guys, I don't know if you can flip back to big screen or not, but if not, I'll hold it close. This is the original 3D offset core that was in, well, not the original, but the remake of our 3D offset core that was in the
3D
offset, the assault, help me out here, Nick. What were the other ones? What was the blue one? The attack. That was out in the range between 2021 and 2023. So we knew we had good motion potential here with the upper and lower flip caps. As you can see, the body offset here. And just for orientation purposes, this is the dot on this side. And then this will be your mass bias sticking out here at 90 degrees. And so that's what the offset core looked like there. Now this one is only lightly asymmetric at 0.008. So this was, high flare potential, but a very lightly asymmetric ball, had more of a roundish arcing breakpoint shape to it. And I just wanted to bring these in the same frame for comparison. This is our new super offset. And by comparison on volume and size and everything, it's a little silly how much larger and more dynamic this new one is here. So you see a lot of features pressed out toward the shell in every direction. Incredibly offset, much higher RG because there's so much mass in this core that some of it's actually out toward the shell. So even though you have a large mass in the middle, some of that core mass is raising the RG as well. So you've got a relatively high RG core here paired with an incredibly aggressive cover. But the real story about this new super offset core is that it's got 20 points of intermediate differential built into it before drilling. Now, the other one was 0.008, so that makes this 2.5 times more intermediate differential. So we're just looking for a shorter, sharper hook window, a later revving core, and because of the size and the strength of this core, we can pair it with a super aggressive cover stock and still get down lane motion without it being too early or too quitty. So I don't know if, I'm guessing a lot of you have seen the reviews on this one. We'll obviously get into it, but we got ball reviewers shaking their heads. They've never seen hook like this.
Yeah, that's always the question when reviewers say, "Oh, this is the most hooking ball." Oh, they always say that. It's like, well, I mean, sometimes you mean it, and sometimes it's clickbait, right? So this is one of those times where it will actually hook that much because it is that strong. It's paired with a cover that's a little bit different. It's HK22 Cohesion Squared with a new additive package that pairs with Cohesion called Chrome. It's finished 500, 1500, and a 4-color solid here. You already went through all the numbers, but yeah, the reviews, I mean, there's a lot of reviews that got posted yesterday from the influencers that are out there on YouTube, myself included. And ball hooks a lot, but it's not like it doesn't lock up and roll forward. It had a lot of continuation. The ball likes to finish over the 8-pin, and you can get in and hook it. Like the only time I had issues with this ball is trying to play straight. There's just wasn't happening. So I couldn't throw it hard enough to play that straight. So once I got in, it was just like a whole new ball. So yeah, and it's part of a dual launch too. We got a pearl to go with it. So same everything, same guts, same core. Now we got the pearl version of that same HK22 cover. Silver, orange, black. I think if you were to picture a perfect hammer ball, color-wise, just look-wise.
That ball looks really good, by the way.
That's a hammer ball right there.
Yeah, really
black,
good.
Orange, silver. That's like just a signature-looking bowling ball for the brand, paired with all the newest core and cover technology. And you get one of the most dynamic flip bowling balls there are. And I can attest to that too. This video will come out later today for me. I'm not even sure if anybody else posted one of these yet, like a full review. I'm not sure. But wait till you see this one go down the lane. They're going to have some eyes going up and being like, wow, that ball comes off the spot hard. Especially when they compare them heads up side by side to each other. just see how different they are. And
it's a surprising gap between the two. Same cover base, but the finish is way different. So I mean, it's a night and day on strength. Very medium to me for the Zero Mercy, medium oil condition kind of ball. Still very in the sharp range of ball motion, but there's a pretty big gap. The maximum effect fits between them. The maximum effect is going to obviously lean toward the Zero Mercy, but that core is a shorter, sharper hook window and just a little more forward. This motion shape, it rounds out the back end better to my eye. So to me, the solid, it really hooks the whole lane, really early starting in the mid lane, but it doesn't quit, still motors a little bit down lane. And the Pearl, really shockingly clean. When you pick up the solid, you'd expect that the Pearl like kind of goes toe to toe with it, but it's a big step down. It's a lot. I mean, it's not a little cleaner. It's a lot cleaner of a ball. Kicks good down lane, but you got to make sure it gets started. So yeah, a really good 1-2 punch. And if you lean heavy on the asymmetric side of your arsenal, you like asymmetrical balls, then you could easily put one in between there and have a 1-2-3 step through. If you're a speed dominant bowler, you're going to really love these two. I think it'd be really, really hard to throw the solid through the break point. Even the most speed dominant bowlers are going to get that one to pick up. And the Zero Mercy Pearl is going to be a nice transition down from that one. Probably 2 balls down if you are speed dominant.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have to force this one down the lane. You just kind of have to just get it off your hand clean, and apply the rev rate and watch it do all the work down lane. So, all right. And now we got another hammer ball. How about that? 3 hammer balls in 1 month. Are you kidding me? Now we got the Hammer New 2.0, new cover stock, new active. It's a solid version. The new blue came out about 2 years ago, and that was a controversial ball at the time with the whole PBA rulings coming out and anti-urethane this, anti-urethane that. So we're giving another option in the line to kind of give you that urethane look, that slow hook, but it doesn't conform to any of those slow absorbing urethane type rules.
This ball does absorb, by the way.
Yep.
It does absorb, yes.
It does absorb. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it absorbs in plenty of time for the USB-C.
I saw that last night. Yeah.
Which is actually longer. They give you longer time than they do with the PBA. The PBA rules, a little background here, the PBA was still trying to settle on what their actual rules for oil absorption time were going to be when we were developing the new blue. So we were in a little bit of a box because our product, R&D cycle was longer than the runway that they were giving us for deciding what their actual rule set was going to be. So we were a little more handcuffed trying to develop the new blue. Now that the rules are settled and out and we know exactly what we're looking for and looking at, we had room to kind of change some chemistry around, still the same base as the new blue, but obviously an enhanced package that gives us a little more traction, a little quicker oil absorption, but we're still looking at half the oil absorption rate of a true reactive ball, right?
Yep, finished at 500, 2,000. It's not dull. The blue was a lot duller than that one. I think it was 500, 1,000. Yeah. So a little bit shinier out of the box, a little more versatile. And I always say, adjust to your taste. Throw it out of box. This is a ball you can try out and see what it does for you. You might bowl on a lot of friction. You might not have a lot of ball speed. So the shinier shell, I wouldn't call it shiny, but it's not super dull.
No. I think this ball is going to go to nationals.
This ball is going to go to nationals for you?
I think so. Yeah.
You sure? That's 4 months away.
Okay. What's my other options?
I don't know.
You can't throw urethane.
Yeah, you can.
How can you throw urethane?
You can throw the 78, can't you?
No, I don't think so. I think it's no urethane in their tournaments. Isn't that the case? Or they changed the rule, or I miss it?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
I'm pretty sure the 78's okay.
All right. Well, then that'll go too.
You're just gonna take all hammer balls?
We'll take all hammer balls this year. What's the difference? This way, when I roll bad, I can't blame it on the radical balls.
I'll get you a patch. You have your one. You have your one or two.
If I roll bad, I can't blame it on the radical balls. Say, it's the hammer balls I was throwing.
Well, then they'll just call you dumb for not bringing radical balls.
Exactly.
You dummy.
You dummy.
But yeah. So once again, all these bowling balls are going to come out on the 20th. So that's next Thursday. That's 8 days away already. So
yep.
If everybody's noticed, we've tightened up that window from info to launch. So there's no waiting. You can get this next week in your pro shop. Go talk to them now. All right, let's switch it on over to Ebonite Entity, the Pearl. This is a follow-up to the original, which was a solid. This has the HK22 cohesion with optimized pearl additives, so essentially a pearl version. And this is a smoother pearl and clean and smooth. So numbers on this one, 15 pounds, 2.515, 052 with 020 intermediates. And this one is going to be, I think, a sleeper pick. I think for people that bowl on drier lanes, people that have a lot of friction in their center, that are maybe a little more rev dominant, that don't want to see an ASIM go sideways, but they prefer ASIMs. I think that's going to be the way they go, is something like Entity Pearl. So what do you think about that ball, Phil? Do you like the look of it? Like
I do. The colors have been really vibrant with the HK we know is a clearer resin, so it makes the colors more vibrant. And Rich Hansen picks a lot of the colors, at least for us, he does. This way I'm not dealing with, oh no, we already got that one coming out in 2 weeks on one of the other 6 balls. But anyhow, the last batch have been really cool. And look how good the Evil Eye, how colorful that ball is.
You did a really good job on that one. Whoever picked those colors for the Evil Eye did a really great job.
3-color ball, the Evil Eye. It's my favorite colors, but they're really bright. When I saw the No Mercy, I saw it yesterday in person, and it is fantastic.
Great looking, right?
I hadn't seen this one in person yet.
Yeah, it's like a signature, like we talked about Hammer's signature look with the Zero Mercy Pearl. This is like a signature Ebonite looking bowling ball.
Right.
If you looked at Ebonite's past, it's always been very regal colors, very traditional colors, a lot of purples, a lot of golds. So this one just kind of meshes really nice, and it's hard to make this ball overreact. Like I don't have the review up yet, but I remember throwing it and just be like, okay, I'm just gonna slow it down and just hit on it harder, and I'm gonna make this ball come off the spot. And the ball would just kind of just laugh at me and just like, no, the hook window's a little longer here, pal. It's not gonna happen. It's just laughing at me the whole time. So very different ball. Cover stock is everything, because the original Entity was very strong off the spot, very flippy, and very quick. And now this one, it's a pearl, so you're like, oh, it's going to be even quicker, it's going to be even sharper. No, it's not. So the kind of additive packages that they put in there and the ratios of it all really changes the dynamics of a ball there.
Yeah. It is interesting too, because we just talked about with the same cover base and HK22C squared on the new Hammer balls, the solid and the pearl are pretty far apart to my eye, in terms of a 1-2 pairing with the same core. And I actually think these entities are a little closer together. Like, there was a lot down lane for a solid out of the original entity, but this for a pearl is not so much down lane. So they kind of meet in the middle, where you get more out of the solid, a little less out of the pearl in terms of down lane motion. So to me, these balls were a little closer. I mean, obviously the length difference is huge with the cover difference in finish, but motion shape wise, they are a little closer than you expect them to be for being a solid and a pearl. So it's interesting. It is interesting how the different additives change the HK22 base.
Absolutely do. Phil, we got a question for you. I know the answer already, but what's a signature Radical color ball? Is it the Outer Limits solid? Absolutely not. I can tell you what.
Not. You tell them. Go ahead, tell them.
Well, if you think about it, the best bowling balls in Radical's history. Okay, let's count them off. Guru.
Yep.
Conspiracy.
Black.
Ridiculous.
Black.
Evil Eye.
Black. So actually, the signature color is red.
It's actually a light purple.
It's like purple and green.
Yeah,
it's just amazing because, to me, I love black bowling balls because I just see them better. The way they read the lane. There's no distraction. I can tell where it's moving and stuff like that. But you got people call up, and we had a guy send an email in about he loves his Guru, the black one, and he didn't like the new one because he didn't like the color.
Mm.
And I'm like, it's the same ball.
No.
So
I mean, at least you changed the logo colors up around on those balls, right? Because you went orange with the Guru, you went yellow on the Conspiracy, you went pink on the Ridiculous, and now you went red.
Yeah.
What are the colors left? White?
Well, not
black?
many. I'll have maybe purple, green. I can do all of those with a black ball.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so there's still some options.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got time. We got time.
Absolutely, we do.
Do black bowling balls roll better? Is that a misconception, or is that true? Is that a perception or reality?
Forever it's been black bowling balls hooked more because of the pigments we use. Yeah, the pigments. Yeah, well, yeah. Carbon black was one of the additives, and that's had more friction. But I don't think that matters that much now. I just think that the black balls, they seem to roll better. I think it's got a lot to do with the way you see them go down the lane. I really do.
Yeah, I think sometimes colors can confuse people. I think the blotchiness can sometimes confuse people.
I threw the Outer Limits solid 2 times.
You're like, nope.
I had no idea what it was doing.
Yeah. You're like, wow.
And that ball's still selling great.
You can count your rotation with that ball, literally. You can't do it with the all black bowling ball.
Nope, that's exactly right. And years ago on tour, we used to color in the grips. Because the only color was yellow when Contour came out.
What tour was that, Phil?
Yeah, you know which tour that is. You colored them in because you didn't want to see the rev rates.
No tour you were on. What are you talking about?
No tour.
I'm going to post the Woo Box again while we are here stalling. It's one of our signature moves,
Why are we stalling? Brian's still moving.
But don't worry, I got a lot to talk about. Yeah, I hope everyone brought their thinking caps here because we've got a whole thing to get into in a minute here.
I'm just writing down some
questions. We're all... Oh, you are? You're writing them down?
Yeah. I'm trying to find the time of them too, so I can help you out later when you stop babbling about what time was that?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a little while for your questions to be answered, so I'm going to talk about a DV8 ball now.
Good.
All right. Heckler Hybrid. Take it away.
Yeah, sure. So obviously did the design on the super offset core for Hammer. Also have been doing all the design work for DV8's no thumb technology. Started with the original Troublemaker, and we've done 3 iterations of that. We've also got a lower flaring symmetrical ball in the dark side, and we've got 1 asymmetrical core in the lineup that is the Unholy core that is in the Heckler. And let's just do that now since you flipped over to the bigger screen here. So, of course, my show and tell, as always, I brought the Heckler core. And you'll notice a theme. I've been designing a lot of big volume cores, making headaches for our manufacturing facility, because not only is it difficult to design and deal with the size and the volume of the inner core on the inner core line, but also the flow around the material around the outer core, around the inner core in the outer core line as well. So manufacturing issues or complications notwithstanding, we're pressing the limits a little bit about where the volume, where the size and the shape of the inner core can go on the inside of these balls. And much like your radical cores that have a nose that stick out, we're building purpose-built locations for the material in these no-thumb cores to intersect the fingers. Now, obviously, they don't have a thumb hole to deal with. You can't hit the nose like you can on a radical core with the fingers. Very few no-thumb layouts are down there by the PSA where you normally have your thumb. So we're purpose building material to intersect the fingers. And we've got 3 zones in these cores, and it's actually a patent pending system. I'm probably repeating some of the points that are already on our slides, but just as a quick reference here, if you hit the first zone, the one closest to the dot or the pin, but all these balls are dot balls, then you're going to hit the top of the core with the fingers, reduce the differential drastically because you're shortening that core overall. And you're going to have a resulting ball that is much, much less flaring and more controlled overall. And if you pick zone 2, which is kind of in the middle, these are more standard layouts for no-thumb bowlers. You're going to put the fingers kind of in this void. You're missing the core material altogether, and basically you're hitting just the compound material, just the outer core material with your fingers. So if you drill into that range between 2.5 and 3.5 inches from the dot to the center of grip of your fingers for no-thumb bowlers. And basically, since you're not changing the core too much, the inner core, you're effectively getting resulting numbers that are very close to the original undrilled ball. So you have control over picking a core based on the numbers of the undrilled ball rather than the after drilling numbers. And if you want to make a monster out of any of these no thumb cores, you can pick a dot to center of grip distance that's like really far away in the range, like 4.5, 5 inches, 5.5 inches from the dot to the center of grip, and hit the side of this core. And this has the same effect of the radical cores with the nose, where with your fingers intersecting the core right here in the side, you're skinnying up that core, making it relatively taller and skinnier by ratio. And what that does is it blows up the numbers. Not only does your diff go up, but your intermediate diff goes up a ton. And that's the big deal with the no thumb stuff, because we'll talk about it in a little bit here, but they have some limitations that thumb in players don't have. So you have to play tricks with the core design to get the intermediate diff that the thumb in players can get. So that's a look at that core. And we also have a lightweight core that has kind of the same technology in it. This is a little closer to what the symmetrical cores look like, but asymmetrical, 10 points of intermediate diff here as well. And it's got the same 3 features: the knob on top, the bowl in the middle, and the core side that you can hit with the fingers. This is our lightweight 13 and 12 pound core. That way, because there's a lot of bowlers that start bowling two-handed now, if they want some technology that's a little stronger and a little higher differential with a little more drilling versatility for getting into bowling and learning how to throw it no thumb, then we've got the ability to do that in DVA. So we're proud of that. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about, we'll run through the slides real quick here and talk a little more about why we're doing it and what we're doing with these cores.
Yeah, so new cover on this one, HK22, Cohesion, Maximum Havoc. It's a hybrid. And obviously, because it's called Heckler Hybrid, I want to point that out. It's got the compound finish, super shiny, made for medium oil, and quite a bit of difference in performance than the original Heckler, which was dull and heavy and rolly and strong. And this one's a lot cleaner, flippy, and what a difference, once again, that a cover stock can make when matching up to cores. So let's get into
AJ, our ball tester, just shot 813 last night, Heckler Hybrid, all 3 games. So he's loving it. And this is one of the balls that he had a big hand in developing. The core was developed for the original Heckler before he got here, but I think he matched up well with the cover on this one. He got to help pick the cover on this one, and I think he's a big fan. So
sure, that's one of the perks of testing all the bowling balls. You could say, hey, this one works best for me because I'm a two-hander, and that's what I'm telling you. So yeah. All right, there the core on the unholy core. Let's talk about the numbers on that one.
Yeah, so this is just the undrilled numbers, very medium RG, and it is interesting. You think traditionally with a core volume that's so big that you'd have a really, really low RG, but realistically, the core volume in this one is so big that some of the mass is getting out toward the shell, and that when you get mass out near the shell of the ball, you're actually raising the RG. So they're kind of, counteracting each other. You got a lot of mass in the middle, a lot of mass toward the shell, and they end up in the middle at 250, in the range of 250. High differential to start. So this one's going to flare the most out of all the 3 in the series. But we only went with a light 10 intermediate differential, and that was a very purpose-built number because no thumb bowlers, they can't use balance holes anymore. So pre-building in a little bit of intermediate differential is equivalent to building in a balance hole or a low hole or even a thumb hole that they used to be able to put into their layouts. So that's where we got 10 intermediate differential from. And then, I just showed you the cores on the screen a second ago. The lightweight cores, they're going to be used as quote unquote generics that still have the no thumb technology in them with the scoop technology, or I said scoop like a radical core. This is actually, we've been calling it the bowl.
Phil's going to sue you now.
I'm suing you. I'm calling the lawyer right now.
Yeah, call him up, Phil. Get on the phone.
That's it.
Yeah. So we got the knob on top. We got the bowl cutaway, and then we've got the core side. So same technology in both of these cores, but little tamer on the 12 and 13 pound numbers. We don't really need 12-year-old kids throwing 50 diff cores with 10 intermediate or whatever. So the numbers are backed off a little bit, both because of the volume of the core and because they don't need it. Usually they're lower speed players when they're younger kids. So 45 diff on the lightweights. Is that right? Yeah, so what we tackled with this, obviously there's a set of issues, not really issues, but there's a set of circumstances that no thumb bowlers have that players with a thumb just don't deal with. The PAP for every no thumb bowler is really all over the map. And when you think about a standard thumb in player, if there are pro shop operators in the chat with us, they're typically in the quadrant that's a reasonable number over, like 4 inches over and maybe 5 inches over, and a small amount of up or down, typically up for thumb in players. Well, with no thumb bowlers, we're getting PAPs that are 3 over, 3 up, 6 over, 2.5 down. I mean, truly all over the map relative to thumb in players. And part of that is because they can kind of put their palm wherever they want. And part of that is because with both hands on the ball, the range of rotations and player styles and things like that they're applying to the ball at the release is just different. You're not locked into how the ball is released because it has to go thumb over fingers in a thumb in situation. With a thumb out situation, you're free to do whatever. And so it makes it a little hard to design a core that rolls good for everyone. So that was one of the big things that we tried to tackle was post layout versatility. That's one thing that we're trying to tackle. And also with just 2 fingers in the ball, it makes it really hard to make intermediate differential. You've seen all my radical rundowns where we're talking about putting that thumb right through the nose of the core, blowing up the numbers, making the intermediate differential really high after drilling. That shortens the hook window, gives you the ability of the ball to change direction hard from the late mid lane to the pins. Well, when they took away balance holes. They said at maximum, you can only have finger holes and a thumb hole if you're a no thumb player. And then they said, actually, no extra holes. You can only use gripping holes, and usually 2 fingers, maybe 3 for some of the different players out there. But they're all in the same area. You don't have fingers on the top, thumb on the side. So we just tried to start thinking of clever ways to give them back that intermediate differential that they lacked. And so that's why we're pressing the mass at certain locations to try to intersect the core with the finger holes, just like thumb in players can do with their thumb if they want to. And we talked about this already too, so we'll breeze by this. There's 3 cores currently in the lineup. Actually, the previous slide had the original Troublemaker core that's symmetrical. The core that's on the screen right now is the Dark Side core. And I just waved around the Heckler core. We'll be seeing a lot more of that as we talk about the numbers of the Heckler. So benchmark 0.45 total differential with the Troublemaker series. And you can go way stronger with the diff and int diff in that ball. The Dark Side is just a lot more tame on the numbers. It's 36 total differential undrilled. So if you want less flare potential, like a lot of the high rev no thumb players are, then the Dark Side series is the perfect series for that. A little more of a tour style target in terms of ball motion. And the Heckler is going to sit above both of those. Built-in intermediate differential makes the breakpoint a little sharper, and higher total differential to start in the range of like low 50s. And if you want to, you can make this one a monster. Some of the layouts that we'll review in a little bit can get this core into the 60s in total diff, mid 20s in intermediate differential, which, by the way, is a ton for no thumb players.
All right. Now we get into the nuts and bolts of the core.
Yeah, so we already talked about this. I know my screen's little here, but there are 3 zones, and we just talked about it a second ago. Look at me trying to do like I'm mirrored on my screen, so I keep moving the core in the wrong direction to center it. So the first zone is just hitting the top knob of this core. That's reducing your total differential. You're going to get less flare potential, less hook potential. If you're in the bowl side in zone number 2, then you're relatively relatively not affecting the inner core mass. So you get relatively similar numbers to the undrilled ball. The intermediate diff will go up a little bit because you're a little around the side of the core. But then once you hit the core side in zone 3, then you can really blow up the total diff and the intermediate diff, make this one as strong as you want. So the utility is if you're a pro shop and you have two players that are no thumb bowlers. One of them is super speed dominant and one of them is super rev dominant. You can offer them the same core with the same features, the same cover stock, same overall motion shape. And you can tailor one layout to the speed dominant bowler by giving him a lot more intermediate diff, a much stronger layout with a long pin to center of grip distance, dot to center of grip distance. And the other player who's more rev dominant, they can get a much weaker layout with the fingers much closer to the dot. And they'll have a much tamer version, but the same overall shape and dynamics. And if you really wanted, you could tailor multiple hecklers to the same player as well. 1 weak, and that's what we do in our Deviate videos. We do like 1 weak, 1 strong, to showcase the difference in flare potential. So there's a lot of utility in that technology.
What's the typical drill depth, for the fingers for these?
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I was going to touch base on that on the end, but since you asked, we're recommending 3 inches depth with the fingers. That's deeper than the standard. I think people who drill grips, they typically only go maybe 2 inches deep with the bit. We're recommending 3. We find that's the right balance of affecting the inner core enough, getting enough material removed from the inner core that you're really affecting the numbers. But you go any deeper than 3 1/4 or 3 1/2, and you get diminishing returns. The RG continues to go up, but the differential and the intermediate differential kind of level off where they're at because you're so close to the center of the core. You're not affecting one axis more than the other. So after like 3 1/4, they level off. But the reason we recommend 3 is because you go deeper than 3, you start having pitch intersection issues. In fact, at 3 inches, you might, for a lot of players, already have pitch intersection issues if there's not enough difference in the lateral between the ring and the middle finger. So 3 inches is a really nice balance. If you do 2 inches like a standard grip depth, you're just not affecting enough of the inner core body. And that goes for not just Deviate, any and all no thumb bowlers across the board, any core, any layout, 3 inches. That's my advice.
And then Don wants to know, other than core shapes, do you think you'll see, or are you working with multi-density cores as the future of core technology in these?
Yeah, so it's funny. This is actually a patent pending system, and we used language that was specific enough to capture no thumb layouts and technology that involve effectively a 3-piece system where we have a cap, a bowl, and a core side. So that's like the defined system, but it doesn't necessarily, the bowl section doesn't necessarily have to be filled with compound material. So you could you could dream up some possibilities where this is like a different density piece or something. The cap is a different density, the side is a different density, whatever. So the language of the patent that we filed is specific to no thumb layouts, but is also broad enough that it doesn't just capture the existing designs, but it captures the ability for us to play some games in the future. This will be an ever-evolving technology. In fact, I just made something super wild for 2026 that I'm super excited to talk about, but we're way too far off for that.
All right, let's talk about the numbers on the core zones now.
Yeah, so I don't want you guys to get super bogged down or tied up. I know people's heads can spin when we talk too much about numbers, but I want you guys to capture the general essence of what is happening here. So what I did, we're going to run through the 5 recommended dot to center of grip distances that we're recommending at Deviate. And we'll talk about at the end too. We have some resources like a handy chart, like a cheat sheet that'll show you these 5 distances. But it's a simple system that just graduates from 1.5 to 5.5. So there are 5 different finger positions, and that's all relative dot to the center of grip. We're not talking about the dot to PAP or the pin to PAP position here. We're specifically talking about the distance from the dot to the center of the grip when we're looking at these. So I left the undrilled numbers on the slide for reference, for comparison about where the ball started. And behind that is the numbers after drilling. So you notice this one in zone number 1 has really dropped the height of the core by taking mass out of the top of the core. And we're left with a ball that has almost like a NV Tor or like Effector style numbers. It's really going to cut that flare potential down into the mid 30s. And you still are left with the similar intermediate differential because you're not affecting the intermediate axis. You're really close to the pin. So basically you're left with a tour style bowling ball if you drill it really weak. Moving on, we're now out of the first zone and we're in zone number 2 in that bowl cross section of the core. And you'll notice where the fingers, since you mentioned it, Nick, the drills, if you look closely at the cross-section image, these fingers are drilled 3 inches deep as well in the actual cross-section CAD image that we're looking at there. So we put the finger hole in the actual picture and we put the finger grip in the picture too. So if you look closely, you can see that the tip of the bit is just barely skimming. Yeah, the tip of the bit is just barely skimming the core here in zone number 2. You're mostly taking out blue dynamic core compound material, which is much, much lighter density. So you're barely affecting the numbers. And you'll notice we get, because the finger is a little bit on top of the core, you're cutting out a little sliver of that top of the core. The differential does fall a little bit, not nearly as much as it did in the previous layout. Intermediate diff still pretty close to where you were because, again, we're not very close to the max axis. We're not changing the intermediate diff at all. So you're left with what I call a smooth benchmark layout with a 2.5 dot to center of grip distance. The next one is still in zone number 2. We're still in that bowl cutout section. So we're removing mostly dynamic core compound material, but you notice that we do hit a little bit of that core side, and now we're starting to make the core just a little bit stronger. So you'll notice the total differential is almost identical to the undrilled ball 051, but the intermediate differential has started creeping up because we've started hitting the side of the core a little bit with that finger hole. I still consider this to be very benchmark in shape, but now we're on the strong side of benchmark. You know, this core is going to flare at 051, and you do get a little more shape and change of direction due to 15. Well, I can't read the thing so small for me on the screen, whatever that number is, 15 intermediate differential, whatever it is. So this is going to be what I consider a strong benchmark shape for most players. And then here's where things get fun. Just like with the radical cores, using the nose and drilling near the PSA, you are kind of drilling near the PSA, although you'd have to get way down there to hit the radical nose. Distances of like 5.5 and 6 inches would probably start to clip the nose on the radical cores. On DV8, we purpose built the quote unquote nose, it's actually the core side, to be about the same distance from the shell, a half inch from the shell to the inner core. And it's a lot higher in the ball so that you can hit it with the fingers and you don't have to drill the dot to center of grip distance so far away around the ball. And in this case, look at the jump in the differential and the intermediate differential. We're approaching 60 in total differential and we're in the 20s in intermediate differential. So yeah, we're getting this thing to flare. This is going to be a late strong mid lane reaction and it's going to be relatively sharp down lane. Although it's flaring enough that it's going to have some mid lane security as well. And lastly, still in the final zone, zone 3, hitting the core side. Now we're making the ball move. This is going to be what we call a strong mid lane reaction, 064 total differential, and we're in the mid 20s in intermediate differential. Just look at the change in total differential and intermediate differential compared to the undrilled ball. Now, you might look at those numbers and say, yeah, big deal. Your radical cores can do that all day long. We're just talking about 2 little finger holes. We're not talking about removing an 1 3/8 slug 3 inches deep. We're talking about drilling 2 little finger holes in the side of the core and getting this dynamic of a change in post-drilled numbers. So that is pretty staggering. And by the way, we drilled some we call them standard cores that don't have the technology, that don't have the core body sticking way out near the shell to see the change in intermediate differential. And on average, you get probably 8 points of intermediate differential drilling 2 finger holes 3 inches deep on the side of the core. So we have moved much more mass than that.
All right, got to interrupt you for a sec to put the woo box up for one last time. You guys have
That's good. I'm right at the end of the slide anyway.
Last shot, 4 minutes to go, roughly, to get in. If you're not in, sorry. Better luck next week. That's all I got to say. All right. And then we had a question up there for if someone's using a traditional 2 fingers and a thumb, can they still achieve these kind of numbers, or is this going to be primarily just for 2 finger onlys?
This particular design is just for no thumb, and I'll tell you why. Because in typical pin-up layouts, your fingers hit the top of the core. They drive the differential down. Your thumb hits the side of the core. they drive the differential up. So the position of the material in this core design means that you're gonna cancel each other and end up with a more neutral after drilling layout with fingers and a thumb, right? Now in the radical layouts, the top knob is a lot smaller, and the scoop or the thimble shape in the radical cores means that the fingers primarily miss the core, almost like this scoop thing does here. So what happens in the radical cores is your fingers don't drive the diff down very much at all. The knob stays, and then the thumb blows the intermediate diff up. With these designs, because we're meant to hit them with the fingers do drive the diff down, the thumb drives the diff up or the int diff up. So you're getting asymmetry, but you're not getting a major change in total diff like you would with just fingers, because one point of mass removal, it's either here or here, it's not both. Hope that answers that. Anything else?
Moving on.
Okay, cool. If hopefully we can capture a few more questions along the way here. So deviate. This is it's a simple concept to grasp. Fingers close to the dot means less differential. Fingers far away from the dot, more differential. So small distance, small flare. Big distance, big flare. So to me, it's a simple concept, but laying them out, getting them on the ball, getting the fingers where they belong for all these different PAPs is very difficult sometimes for pro shop operators. So we built some resources that make sure that they have all the tools and resources that they need to make it happen. So first things first, you can scan the QR code on the box and it takes you to the link on the website that has the No Thumb resources. Or if you don't have the box, you can just go to the balls section, and there is like a little link to get to No Thumb resources. So what we've got for you is the distance guide, dot to center of grip distance guide, and that just walks through in a nice, neat summary all on one PDF. All of the center of grip distance recommendations that we just gave to you. So you have a quick little cheat sheet. You can either keep it somewhere in a folder on your PC or print it out. Stick it to the back wall of your pro shop, and you'll always have that reference to know exactly what's changing and what the intended dot to center of grip distance gives you. And then we also have a layout converter. Basically, dual angles doesn't cooperate all that well with the dot to center of grip distance, because if your PAP is radically different from one bowler to another, then 30-degree VAL angle doesn't put the fingers in the same position for every single bowler relative to the pin. So we have this nice little converter. You just input the bowler's PAP, you pick the pin to PAP that you want, you pick the pin or dot to center of grip distance that you want, and it spits out the exact dual angle layout that you need to apply to the ball to get the fingers in the exact position relative to the dot. So it's a super quick converter. The alternative is trying to do 2LS, but that takes about 8 steps, an arc ruler, a tangent line, a PhD, and a 3-hour seminar to understand. And even then, the layout recommendations don't quite fly with me. There are some layouts that say they are weak that are strong, and vice versa. You can get layouts that are really over flaring. We eliminated all of that and we made it simple. Almost every pro shop in the United States knows dual angles, and with a couple inputs, about 30 seconds with the spreadsheet, you can have the dual angle layout for that particular PAP right there in front of you at the bottom of the sheet. And you can draw it on the ball like you always do, 3 lines and away you go.
Okay, that's our last slide. How about that?
Yeah, any questions about anything really? Nick, you want to field them?
I got a bunch of questions I wrote down.
All right, well, fire away, Phil.
Oh, let's see. What do we want? You want me to give you a time to bring them up or no?
No, just talk. Just mention them. I'm not going to scroll back.
Okay, so one of them was the absorption. How far into the ball does the oil go when it's absorbed? And, the answer obviously is very little. We have wormholes with the resin balls, and that's what happens. They get a little clogged, but it's right at the surface. So oil doesn't really get absorbed way into the ball. When people say a ball is oil soaked, they just mean that you got a lot of dirt and grime on the top and get some lane shine from it. How close to the shell is the core on the DV8 balls?
As close as we could physically get it and still allow the material to flow around it in the outer core. So when we pour the outer core, you're not pouring like a free falling liquid. It's not water. It's a pretty thick mix. Think about like your Frosty at Wendy's, right? So you have to have space for the material to flow around it in a timely manner. So this gets to, I think, at the peak right here within a half inch of the shell. So by the time the drill bit, the tip is all the way through the cover stock material, the tip of the bit should be all but hitting the inner core material already on the side of the core and the top of the core. So they're concentric. It's a nice circle right here. So this section and this section are within a half inch of the shell.
Is that about the same on the Zero Mercy?
No, the Zero Mercy, it does have a nose feature, but it's probably like 3/4 of an inch, maybe even 1 inch. It's not, the DVA stuff is extreme as we can get, to the point where they told me, hey, go easy on that.
Chill.
The question was the Heckler hybrid. Is that kind of, and this would I guess every one of the balls you talked about, one-handers.
Yeah, you can put standard layouts on them, and there's no negative effects. It kind of harkens back to the question that we answered about, the fingers go in the top, the thumb goes in the side. You will get more intermediate diff, a little more intermediate diff because you're going to clip the side of this right here. So you'll get a little jump in intermediate diff relative to standard core designs, but your total diffs and the motion shape is going to be basically what you expect when you drill a low mass bias, like intermediate differential ball. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's no issue. And we encourage, they roll really good. They've been rolling actually really good for, especially the Troublemaker series, for lefties, thumb in lefties, because we use slightly smoother, blendier covers to pair with these, because we know the two-handers, maybe they want to see them go nuts off the friction, but we know what's good for them, and what's good for them is blended motions, because they have the rev rate, they have the power to make the ball go sideways on their own. They don't really need the help from the cover stock, so we use slightly more blendy cover stock blendy motion shapes on the covers in the Deviate lineup, and they have been trending really well for thumb in lefties as well, because of the freshness of the lane beds on that side and things like that. So yeah, no problem drilling it one-handed.
This one's for Nick, obviously. Which has more hook, the Guru, Oracle, or the Zero Mercy?
Oh, Zero Mercy.
Okay.
The name any ball from any brand. The Zero Mercy solid. The answer currently is Zero Mercy solid, right?
All right. Well,
it's up there just because it just has so much more on the back. I mean, the Guru is strong. I mean, there's no taking away from it. And just like people say, oh, what about Mesmerize? Can you compare it to Mesmerize? Like, well, Mesmerize is strong too, and the back end's pretty good too.
Right.
It's been a while since I've thrown it, so obviously comparing them is going to be hard, because I just the bowling balls, it's in a big pile back here, so I don't know where it's at. But
yeah, the motion shape of Zero Mercy reminds me of Mesmerize. Is just more of it, especially down lane, just a little more down lane, But Guru, just a lot more in the mid lane. I'd say they start in a similar part of the lane, but Guru has a shorter, sharper hook window with a higher intermediate differential.
Tell you what, Phil, I'm going to go grab the ball. I'll grab a Zero Mercy solid, and then I'll go grab your Guru, and then I'll compare them on Throwbot, and we'll see. How about that?
It's fine.
And then if the Zero wins, then you can call R&D and say, hey, I need a stronger ball. You guys are making me look bad. Guru is supposed to be the most hooking ball on the planet. What are you doing to me here?
Exactly. Somebody had a good question, and it was sort of an observation, which makes a lot of sense. When I talked a little bit earlier about I had success with the Evil Eye, with the E drilling, and I had worked the shell all the way up to 5,000. The point they made was, doesn't everything end up around 4,700 anyway? And the answer is yes. And that was the advantage of me going to 5,000. There is not a 4,700 pad, but by going to 5,000, I was able to get a little more slickness, so to speak, out of that ball reaction. But yes, eventually everything will end up at 4,700. If you are a rev dominant player or low speed player and you go to 5,000, you're just getting there before the lane gets you there.
Yeah. So. I do take issue with that a little bit too, though, because CTD, they use optical light scanners, and so it's measuring the reflection of the ball and then back calculating what the value is based on the hardness of the ball. All of that's fine. It's a true reading, but what it doesn't take into account is how you get to 5,000. If there's contaminant on the ball, 5,000 freshly sanded is not the same as 5,000 oil-soaked dirt, belt marks, all that stuff.
Right.
And not only that, but there's multiple ways. We use 5,000 as an example, but there's multiple ways to get there. You can do 360 and then something super smooth over top. You'll have real deep ridges, and then smooth it out. The ridges become smooth over top, but you still have those deep, deep pores. Or you could do 10,000 steps like Phil said he did, and you'll sand those ridges out along the way, and you'll be left with a super smooth cover. Both of those on an optical light scanner will read at 5,000 because the top surface is 5,000, but the one with the deeper pores is still going to dig a little more. So, take everything with a grain of salt. There's some marketing involved there, with the optical light stuff and everything, but it's a tool and it's not perfect, right? So
right. Another question was the NU Blue versus the NU 2.0. Nick, you threw them both.
Yeah, I think the NU 2.0 is going to back end just a little bit more. I think it's going to be a little cleaner, I think. And I think it's going to be a little bit more sharp on the back end out of box. If we're talking just box versus box, right?
Yeah, box versus box.
In my review, I actually hit it with surface midway because I wanted to tinker on that particular ball, especially when it comes to, urethane and urethane-like type bowling balls that are going to give you a slow response. I want to see it with some surface too. I want to see it with a lot more because that's probably how I'm going to throw it in competition. I'm probably not going to use it out of box.
Right.
But I noticed just out of box, the ball back ended harder than a New Blue. New Blue was kind of earlier and smoother, and the new 2.0 has a little bit more pop on the back out of box.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mr. 900 was in the chat today. Andrew Granite came in the chat. The new Mr. 900.
Oh wow!
Today,
the latest and greatest.
The latest and greatest, Mr. 900.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
I knew Andrew when I lived out there in Sacramento for 5 years.
You don't know him now? You knew him? You don't know him now?
Yeah. I don't know him now.
I don't know him now.
He's changed now. He's a celebrity now.
One of our guys down here, Brian Hoffman, I gave him the Evil Eye Monday after league. And first came out of the box, he shot 300 today. So he waited a day. Yeah, good for him.
Now we don't have to post it. We're good. He got his 15 seconds of fame already.
Yeah, exactly. So somebody asked a question about the track flare when I had that ball come out. They asked about the differential was 078. Yes, it was. And then
the differential.
And then the American Bowling Congress said we have to make some changes.
Yeah, there you go again, messing.
Yeah, it's my goal. My job.
Yeah, you mess with them, they mess with us, and then
that's exactly how it
works. And then when the technology came out where we can start our own podcast, that's where the platform we took, right?
That's exactly right. So
that's our soapbox.
When Phil and Steve Mo and Steve were designing the original Guru core, pretty much the same one that we're using now. They had a version of that core with the nose where the after drilling numbers were in the range of 75, 80 total differential after drilling on the max flare. And I believe this is with the double thumb balance hole in it too.
It was.
They actually, if you look at the undrilled numbers of the Guru, it's 044, which is very middle of the road. Like that's dead medium as far as total differential, as far as I'm concerned. And that's because they backed it off from 50s because the ball was easily clipping the double thumb balance hole for even the most medium rev players, flaring the whole ball.
Absolutely.
So they were like,
do you know who, Brian, do you know who the double thumb
limit on differential? The upper limit is, well, when you hit every hole in the ball because you flared all the way around it, then don't design a core that aggressive. This kind of self-containing, Do
you know who the double thumb layout was actually designed for? Do you know that? It's a trivia question.
I shouldn't have even brought it up, right? He'll bring out his little plastic knife.
Show him, Phil. Show him who it was designed for.
The double thumb. Here it is, right here. And I can use that now because USB-C said you have to put every hole has to have a finger in it. Well, here we go.
Yeah, you have a prosthetic. What are they going to say?
What are they going to say? You can't use it?
You're gonna invoke the ADA laws.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to discriminate against me. A prosthetic thumb. There it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Not to be that guy, but I think you guys might need some new bits on this podcast.
Well, I don't know.
All right, and that's Brian leaving.
Bye, guys.
That's Brian's visit. Thanks for stopping by.
Yep. It's I'm glad to have you on for the second time, Brian.
Yeah.
The first time and last time.
Yeah. He's in the chat. He says 080. They were after drilling numbers on the original Guru design went up to 080.
Yeah, that's Stevie.
The ball flared around the whole ball, hit the double thumb, and probably hit the thumb for some of the high rev players. And they decided that we don't want to be hitting the holes on the back of the lane when they flared around the ball, so they backed it off. They backed off.
Exactly. And then there was one more question, and Nick would tell you because he does it when he does his ball testing. Do you chamois the ball after every shot or not at all?
All the time.
100%. You do it all the time. Yeah, I don't do it at all. So yeah.
I always do, and I always think you should because you're affecting the following shot if there's still oil on the ball. You throw one shot, fresh cover, ball comes back, it's not completely absorbed, especially if you're rapid firing them. If you're in a 5-man league and it's sitting up there absorbing,
That's why I'm in a 4-man league. When I get up, there's nothing on the ball usually.
It's a bunch of old people too, so they don't work very fast.
No, nobody goes fast.
Yeah, and something like, and I'm making up a figure. I don't know what the exact number is, but something like 80% of the oil is pretty much absorbed by the time you get back. If you're using a fast absorbing reactive cover, by the time it hits the pit, goes through the ball return, gets back up to the rack, you sit there for a while, and then you get up on your next shot and wipe it. A lot of that oil has absorbed, but you can extend the life of your cover stock just a little bit by not allowing that extra oil to get into it. But more than that, it's really about shot consistency. If you wipe it off every time, there's not going to be as much contaminant. There's not going to be as much oil on the surface of the ball.
And when you're done bowling, Clear Magic.
Brought to you by Clear Magic.
Brought to you by Hammer. It's Clear Magic. The plant-based.
The original Whammy has asked this question a few times. So what would happen if you put dual density in the area where you're planning to drill the 2 fingers? Is that even a potential?
Yeah. So this might be a recap of what we talked about, but this is a patent pending technology that is basically the sum of 3 components of the system: the top knob, the bowl side, and the side. And we left the language intentionally vague in the patent filing to encompass different designs. Like, as you can see, this is more of a true bowl shape. That's where the name bowl came from. This is more of a slot style feature just based on the way that this asymmetric core had to be parted. But they both are encompassed in the language. And the language also includes maybe we can use dual density pieces instead of a cap. Maybe the upper cap can be dual heavy density. Maybe this can be an ultralight density insert piece, whatever it may be. So we left the future of development open and still covered by our patent filing.
Okay,
that's all
Brian.
I got.
Any other? Okay, Brian, thanks for coming on and talking about all the core technology and drilling in deep, no pun intended, on all the numbers and after effects on these cores that were designed specifically for 2-handers and no thumbers. So one of the biggest questions we get whenever I do a radical rundown, it's always in the chat. What about no thumbers? What about no thumbers? So we can start guiding them toward Perception versus Reality, episode 125, where we talk all about no thumb core technology. There you go. Well, it's good to have you on. We're going to carry on the rest of our show, do our top 5, pick a contestant, and get on out of here. So, Brian, take care. We'll see you on another time. And Phil, I'll see you in 2 minutes. Just kidding.
See you in 2 minutes. See you. All right, you got to pick somebody.
Well, we got to do a top 5 first. How about that?
Oh, that's right. Top 5.
Let's see.
What do you got for the top 5 today, Nick?
I felt like being educational today. I felt like it's a time to be educational.
Yes.
So I actually thought of these and top 5 ways to get more versatile. You always talk about being versatile, kind of. It's an old school trait, right?
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry. Sorry,
It is.
Didn't want to interrupt you on your phone there, texting
No.
your
I was
wife or
with the
something?
texting. I was putting something on the side.
Good. Okay. Anyway, so these are the ways you can get more versatile.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start here.
That's it.
Top 5. Number 5. Only bring one ball in the league.
That's or a spare one and a spare ball. Worst case.
There's no option to go to a different ball. Yeah, that's
I
fine.
agree.
Spare ball. Yeah, but I mean like one primary ball to,
One
to do your
primary ball.
striking with.
I don't disagree with that.
And there you go. I'm glad you don't disagree. All right, cool.
I do not
Number
disagree.
4. Practice striking from every dot on the lane. If you miss, start over from the beginning.
Done
It's a
it
drill.
forever. It's a drill. That's right. If every board on the lane and you can play them, then you can play. You can be versatile. And it's
I
not
just
like
got a pop up. People are saying
I'm not
the Facebook was having issues, and yeah, StreamYard's having an issue streaming to Facebook. It might be on Facebook's end. That's all right. So, sorry, whoever's on Facebook. Hopefully, you joined us on YouTube. We might as well just go on YouTube now because Facebook is just having all sorts of issues lately, right?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Number
That's
3.
a great idea. Number 3.
Learn to recognize ball motion issues in practice and make adjustments fast.
Yeah.
So what do I mean by that, Phil? What do I mean by that?
Well, you talk about ball motion, where the ball hooks, where it starts to slow down, stuff like that, but also how it goes through the pins as the most important part. If you're splitting the 8-9, that ball's got everything working for you, but you start leaving flat 10s, you got to realize that ball's probably burning up. Ring 10s, ring 7s for lefties. Ball's too sharp down lane, coming in behind the head pin a little bit. So those are little things you can adjust. And some of the adjustments are simple. Some is just looking further right. If you're a right-hander, to get the ball start up sooner, or moving a little bit parallel, with your feet and your eyes to get the ball to go a little longer before it starts to pick up. So,
yeah, and practice is the time to make surface adjustments if you need to, if it has to be that. So, for law-abiding bowling citizens, that's when you have to do it. So, all right, number 2, get a coach. Get on video and master hand position, ball speed, and rev rate adjustments on the fly.
Yep.
That's such a big thing is, you have your A game, right? And say you're so good at playing big dot second arrow, right? That's your A game, right? Well, what happens if you have to get away from that during a tournament or league or whatever? Does it take you a while to be able to make those adjustments, to jump zones, to slow down your speed and still maintain your tempo and timing, and increase your rev rate and decrease your speed in the process to change your angles? Because all that has to work together. So, and sometimes getting a coach is the only way to do it. So, number 1, practice, and make sure you're making the most out of it. So don't just go there and just rapid fire a bunch of shots, but work on the drills, work on the different parts of the lane. Work on all the things that's going to make you more versatile. Using one ball and like trying to strike from every part of the lane. Playing zones that you don't normally play, so that you can get more comfortable playing those zones. What does it take to strike?
It's muscle memory. If you can get that ingrained in your muscle memory, that your execution will be the same. Then you can move to any part of the lane. Then it's just a matter of learning how to line up. But you can't learn to line up if you can't throw 2 balls the same.
It's true. Absolutely true.
Hard to do.
It's hard to do. It's hard
to do. So anyway,
that's the top 5 for becoming more versatile.
I have my clock ready.
Are we? I got a winner picked.
You do?
Yeah. Should I give this a little reset? Is that it?
Yeah, we got to go. Let's see. I'll tell you where to put it to get a whammy. Let's see. Keep going. Keep going. Keep turning it. Put it two left of 2 right for you. It's 2 right of the whammy. The whammy.
That's the whammy location.
That's the whammy location.
Now I'm gonna have to give it a different spin, so it messes up.
No, you got to give it the same spin you gave. Same revolutions.
That was well over an hour ago. I don't even know if I could do that again.
Exactly. And the thing has changed. Humidity's changed in the room.
The wheels warmed up. The bearings are got a little bit of
looser. Yeah, exactly. Who's the winner?
There is no winner.
Who's the contestant?
Who's
the subject?
That's more like it. It might be a relative. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know.
We're gonna find out.
A vowel at the end of his name. Is that why?
No, we're gonna have to do like one of those ancestry.com to see if because no family can win one of these. So we're gonna anyway. Okay. Ready?
Yeah, Nick Smith.
No. The contestant for this week, Larry Smith. Larry. Larry. It's like in
Larry.
Practical Jokers. That's my favorite skit. Larry, where he's just running through the crowds in Broadway, like trying to cut in line. Larry, trying to find his friend. Larry.
Larry, you got 90 seconds, which has been going for 15 of them. So you better hurry up. Get in there, buddy. Let us know if you're
Larry.
here.
Larry. Larry. Everybody in the chat's doing it now.
I know it.
Larry. Larry. Where are you at? Where are you at, Larry? Larry.
Larry, where are you? Larry. Larry bailed.
I don't know. Where you at, Larry?
The life of a lifetime, Larry.
Come on, Larry. Larry.
I guess not.
How much time does he got left?
He's got, let's see, we're coming up on 60 seconds, so he's got 30.
Oh, man. Larry.
Larry, your time's running out. Well, I would
Let's
stop
see.
picking another name if I were you.
I got to look the chat. I got to watch the chat.
Well, okay. I'm trying to watch it for you, but Larry's not chatting.
Do the
No,
countdown
Larry.
when it gets to 10.
That's it. 10, 9, 6, 6, 5,
What happened to 7?
3, 2, 1. Larry's done.
Oh, Larry. Ran out of
Larry missed
time.
an opportunity. No, Larry.
Oh, well. All
All
right.
right.
Let's
We're resetting the clock. Let's pick another name.
I don't know. Talk about the weather or something.
Oh, the weather outside is fine. What are you doing? Were you staying home for Thanksgiving, huh?
Yeah.
You're not visiting?
That's right.
All right. Yep.
Yeah. Good
Oh.
talk.
Yeah, good talk. Did you have snow last night?
Sunday and Monday we did.
Yeah. Accumulations?
What?
Any accumulations? You know, stuff when it on the ground, it gathers up, it accumulates.
Yeah, then it melted as soon as the sun came out.
Oh, okay. So it was cheap snow.
It was a false winter, is what we call
Yeah,
it.
but cheap snow. Ready? Who's a winner? Loser? Oh, no, who's a contestant?
Yeah. The next contestant on the Whammy Wheel Wednesday is Eric Lyons. I'm not lying when I say Eric is the winner.
Clock's going, Eric. You got to be here.
Eric Lyons. Where
Come
you
on
at,
now,
Eric?
Rick.
Hey, I just see him. Oh, that's
You
funny.
did?
He just said he volunteers, and then he just got picked.
He did. That's perfect.
Hey,
See how
finally
that
one of the hecklers. No pun intended. That's funny. All right.
Eric.
He already volunteered. Okay, yeah, you're in then. Way to volunteer.
I got to prove it's him.
Congratulations.
Give us some of the letters that are in your name.
There you go. No, that's his exact. That matches. So we're okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm ready.
Well, here we go. I'm sorry in advance, but Phil apparently has rigged this wheel so that it lands on a whammy. And in case it does, you know what I have.
Whammy. Got the green pen.
Good luck to you. We haven't given away a $3 arsenal in many, many, many weeks.
Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Step away, kid. You're bothering me.
Tadpole. Uh-oh.
Step away, kid. You're bothering me. Yeah, babe. Oh, my God. We called it.
That's going to be a winner, I think. He's going to keep that. Unless, what's better than 1 ball? 3 balls.
Oh, how close was I on predicting that from that
Should have gone 3 spots over. He's going to keep that for sure.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure. Actually, you could have started it on the far side of the other one. It would have been right in there. But anyway,
you want to? We'll put that to the test.
Yeah, we will after this.
He's
what are you thinking, Eric? Keeping it, right?
He's keeping it. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to test out this theory. What do you want?
You can pick any one about T-zones.
Do you want it right here? Or do you want it to
right
put
there.
right here?
Nope. Back in
right here.
There, right there. I want it.
All
Same
right.
spin. Ready.
All right. This is what you would have won had you given away the ball.
That's right.
I didn't spin that as hard, but we'll see.
All right.
This is just for science and fun anyway.
Science is fun, kids.
It is fun, kids. Yeah, new ball. It was meant to be.
So today's gift to be the new ball.
If you go new ball, then you get 3 new balls, right?
New balls. That's right. All right, guys and girls and kids of all ages. That's
Yeah,
our show for
that's it.
today.
Eric,
We
I'll reach
covered a
out to you
lot.
via email. Make sure you send Larry a Christmas card this year for
Not
your
being
early
there,
gift.
Larry Smith. It's from the
Larry.
Smith and Smith family. Nice.
All right.
And that's
Well,
it. That's all we
that's
got.
our
We'll
show.
see you guys next week. Same bat time.
Same bat channel. All right, everybody. Take care. See you next week.
See ya.